Hey guys, how's it going? This is Video Diary Day 7, and in all honesty, I'm surprised I've not exactly given up on doing these things yet. But, yeah, I felt like it, because normally I don't really have anything to talk about, but I said I'd vlog about my day, and what I normally do all day is pretty much boring where it sucks. I mean, come on. I either sit around and watch TV, or I'm arguing with my family. But today, I took off the garbage with my grandpa. I went grocery shopping again for the third day in a row. For some reason, milk and bread are the two things to go the quickest in my household. And like we can buy a gallon of milk and it's gone anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half after we buy it. And half the people in the family don't even get a glass of milk. Usually it's drunk by one person, sometimes two or three, and that's that. And bread, a lot of the people in the family eat ham or bologna or hot dogs or hamburgers on a daily basis, and sometimes people like to take things that don't need to be on bread and put it on bread and eat it that way for a sandwich, like spaghetti or pizza rolls or noodles or stupid little things like that, you know? So I also was working with two of the kittens today. The calico one and the one that almost looks like an Egyptian Mao. I guess how it's pronounced. M-A-U, Mao. Those two are the ones that aren't exactly, ready to be near me yet. You know, they still run every time I try to touch them or pet them or pick them up. But so far, the mama cat and the one that I call Oreo, the black and white one, they come to me, they let me pick them up, and which is really surprising for the mom. I've been feeding her off and on for about 4, maybe 5 years now, and normally she likes to eat and leave because, you know, this is before I actually decided to train her. And, she would, you know, eat, leave, come back, eat again, and occasionally let me pet her here and there. I would usually have to, you know, like, if I go to pick her up, I'd have to hold her way out here so she wouldn't scratch me or anything. And, now I can cradle her in my arms, or, you know, I can pick her up, sit her on my lap, and she'll just sit there and lay, and, sit there and lay, what the fuck. Anyway, yeah, sure, occasionally she still gets frightened, but she's not tame enough to be a house cat, per se. But I'm still working on it, and, you know, the one that I call Oreo, it'll lay in my lap, or it'll let me hold it in my arms, but if I don't hold it, like, if I don't have, like, a sort of enough tight grip on it, it'll try to get away, occasionally. But the other two, like I was saying, I'm still having trouble with it. But I gotta eventually take them out of the dog lot, and I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow and put them back in their small cage. That way my grandma can have her dog lot back. And I'm dreading doing that. Just because they don't exactly have room to move in the cage. Ugh. Damn fluff. But they're doing good. I'm happy about that. My grandparents still aren't excited about me keeping them. They'd rather me choose one and let the other three go. But what's the point in letting them go if they're just going to come back at night for me to feed them, and then do that again the next night and the next night after that, and so on? Why not just keep them as a pet? That way they're always around, and I don't have to keep like leftover food that I don't eat all night just to get rid of it to the cat instead of throw it away. I'm not big on really giving animals leftovers, but I occasionally still do that. I'm trying to break them to where they're just on cat food. And come to think of it, the last time I gave them leftovers was late last week, I think. I don't know. I'm not really good at dates. Oh yeah. Another thing I was wanting to talk about is today at supper. After me and my grandpa got back from the store with the bread and the milk, my Uncle Joey started running his mouth over the phone with his girlfriend, arguing like he does every day on a daily basis. And he was talking about how he's... I farted. He's talking about how he's sick and tired of his kids' moms always out here running the roads, trying to live their life instead of babysitting their kids when they're supposed to. And he's talking about how he's a good father. He's always doing this and that for his kids, and no matter what, he's always going to be there for them. Well, let me see here. He's always left his kids with his mom, my grandma. He's run the roads, with one piece of ass to the next, because that's all he sees women as. He likes the idea that he can have sex, no matter if the person is pregnant or not. And he still, he'll leave the person. He just uses them for sex, and if they get pregnant, he'll say, "Oh, well, that ain't my fucking child," and blah blah blah. But his girlfriend now knows he does this, and she's still with him. But at the same time, he accuses her of doing it. I'm not saying she don't, but I think she does myself. And they've got 2 kids together, so that makes it my uncle's 5th child. And I think he's got more, but that's just me. But it's funny because he's never around for his kids. He doesn't do a damn thing. I mean, he'd rather spend $100 on dope than, buy something for the kids for their school. Because they just started going back this past Thursday. And he bought 2 of his kids a pair of shoes each, and his girlfriend's daughter a pair of shoes. He had $100, so he decided to buy shoes with it. He said if no one was going to take him to buy shoes, then he was going to go find somebody to buy him some dope instead. So there was a big ass family argument, and my grandma was like, "Fuck it, I'll take you." And yeah, he gets his way. So does my other uncle. They both live here. My Uncle Joey is in his mid-30s, and my other uncle is in his, my Uncle Jimmy, he's in his early 40s, and my grandparents are, you know, old. You know, like my grandpa, he's 60, and my grandma's 59. And they're still living with them. They don't help pay the bills. They don't help put food on the table. They go out, supposedly work all day, come back, and that's it. And they don't do anything around the house unless it benefits them. And me, I'm 20 years old, and I know what it's I know what it's like to work hard. You know, I've had to pick up my uncle's slack for years, and I've had to be the one to help my family, whether or not if it benefits me. You know. Yes, I still live with my grandparents. I'm 20 years old. I've done it since I was 6 months old. It's the only home that I've ever really known. And yeah, I do plan on moving out. Yeah, but the last 2 times that I tried, you know, I was in a car accident. My house burnt down. And, you know, I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen the 3rd time that I try to go out, you know? And the last 2 times that I did try to move out on my own, I was gone for a week each, exactly, and 2 things happened to me. Well, one thing happened to the entire family because I wasn't there to watch over the house, and the other one happened to me and the 2 friends that I was living with. And, you know, the 3rd time I go out, I don't know what's going to happen, you know? I don't exactly want to die just because I wanted to move out and live on my own instead of live with my grandparents for the rest of my life or the rest of their life, you know? But I don't know, like, I don't mind having to work around the house to help, you know, to relieve some stress off my grandparents, because honestly, they need it. They do. You know, they're getting old. They can't really fend for themselves for much longer. It's just pathetic to me because no matter how fucked up my uncles treat my grandparents, they still bend over backwards for them. I don't know if it's because it's their kids or what, but even though they bend over backwards for them, they still bitch and complain about it, and they have yet to kick them out. They would rather kick me out sooner than kick them out, and trust me, we've had this discussion many times with my family. Well, my grandparents and I, we constantly argue about it, and sorry, I farted again. It's just pathetic, you know. I do all this hard work around the house, and sometimes I get lazy and want to lay around in the bed, but I'm still young. I'm still a kid at heart. And, I mean, yeah, 20 years old, I still am a kid to a point, you know? But that's just me. I want to try to live my own life and get out there and do good for myself, and at the same time still help the people that I hold dear to me, you know? And it's kind of pathetic. I should really stop bitching about my life, but making videos about my life is the only way that I can relieve stress. You know, I can't really talk to my family about it, I can't really talk to friends, and last time I talked to a therapist, I was 13, 14, social service was called, and my god, I got hell for that from my family, because if there is like an authority figure around, they get all defensive saying they're not doing this or this wrong, even if I had the marks and bruises to prove it. And so I've learned to keep to myself. And yeah, sure, I've talked about it through Facebook, and I've talked about it through here. I bitch about my life, you know? But, I don't know, that's just me. Thanks for watching. We're back on track with the long videos. I'm glad. God, I hate making short ones. There's never enough time to say anything. But with this, it just takes forever, so anyway, later.